We're at a place I don't normally come to. We're north of 14th Street on the Upper West Side. I know, what's going on? I used to live here in the 80s, forever, but it was always famous for great place to live, no place to eat. For the longest time, this is like a culinary black hole. But that's changed. We're gonna do a couple of shows this year up in this neighborhood, starting with Danielle Boulud's two restaurants, Boulud Sud and Bar Boulud. Bar Boulud opened first as a tribute to Lyonnaise cuisine, to the breadbasket of France where Danielle's from. You know, butter and eggs and charcuterie like crazy. And then Boulud Sud, which opened a couple of years back, an homage to the south of France and all things Mediterranean in a big canvas. So that's today's show. Danielle Boulud, me, the crew, the staff, the Sud, the middle, food, wine, fish, charcuterie. Stay tuned. I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food.
This is hot. Okay.
In the highly competitive pantheon of New York chefdom, Danielle Boulud has few, if any, equals. He's trained and mentored scores of industry leaders and has opened more seriously good restaurants around town than anyone else that comes to mind. Today we're touring his two Upper West Side hits, Bar Boulud and Boulud Sud, with a brief detour of his little pastry shop shoehorned right in between. We'll cook together, eat, drink some wine, you know the drill. Chef, we're in the kitchen.
Hey, Michael.
And who am I meeting here? Who am I meeting here?
Well, Travis Svikart, who is the executive sous chef here.
And we're gonna do a couple of dishes together. So we're gonna start first with a flatbread. We talk about flatbread and also ratatouille.
You know, I don't know how many years ago it was, 7 or 8 years, we did a piece with you at your eponymous restaurant, Danielle.
Yes.
Back me up, so for people that might not know your story, you started cooking as a kid. Talk about where you grew up in France and what inspired you to do this, besides your grandmother.
Absolutely, and I had the chance to grow up on the farm, and today every chef dreamed to be a farmer, and I was a farmer and I was dreaming to be a chef. It was outside of Lyon, and we were a big family. We were growing everything ourselves, raising everything, making cheese, making ham, making sausage. And then I started cooking at 14 in Lyon. I have all the ingredients for the ratatouille here. As we know, sweet pepper, onion, tomato, zucchini, eggplant, bouquet garni, garlic, rosemary.
Bingo.
Olive oil, of course, a lot of olive oil. And we'll finish it with the eggs. And we'll finish it after with some croutons and herbs on top. So that's a very simple step. And vas-y, Travis, let's start the flatbread.
Here we have our Arabic flatbread here that we have some yogurt inside of it. Gives it a little more crunch when it's baked off. Also makes it a little more chewy. We're gonna take the flatbread and we're gonna put the lamb farce meat on top of it.
So this is not a pizza, it's a flatbread. Which
right.
I don't know what the Italian will think of that.
But we didn't ask them.
But I think all along the Mediterranean, from south of France to Turkey and North Africa and Spain, we always find different type of flatbreads.
You came to New York. Jean-Louis Paladin had something to do with this, didn't he?
No, I came to Washington, D.C. first in 1980, and Jean-Louis was in D.C.
Right.
And I was working for an embassy as a private chef for 2 years, and after that I wanted to come to New York.
And you were at the Westbury at Polo at one point, weren't you? No.
2 years at the Polo Lounge with
Cirque,
Thomas Keller.
Thomas Keller was in your kitchen, then Le Cirque, which was your first
Alfred
four-star
Portal.
review.
Yes, 1986 and 1987 we had the 4-star.
And, huge. Very different scene then, very different New York then.
Yeah, but very, I mean, to me it was still my best year because it was the time where in the 80s, America was changing. America was transforming itself with food. Yeah. To see this transformation, to see it, and farmers was coming to bring you squab, and to bring you peas, and to bring you things. I mean, we didn't have the array of choice as we have today, maybe locally, but we still had a lot going on. Mm-hmm. So here I have the ratatouille, and I am Now then, he has been stewed for about an hour and a half in the oven with all the olive oil and all the vegetable. What's important is to keep the shape of your vegetable and yet have them tender and have absorbed nicely the. And ratatouille, nobody knew what it was until they made this amazing cartoon where everybody knows ratatouille today. So we make a hole here and crack an egg. And I love ratatouille cold in salad in the summer.
Me too.
Or
Make
just
a big batch, have it one night for dinner, then eat it as
hot
a salad
like that
for the next 2 or
as
3
well.
days.
So crack an egg in the middle, a little bit of salt, a little bit of hot pepper, voila. And we're gonna bake this one right here.
So it's like a braised roast lamb shoulder?
It's a lemon shoulder that we've ground with some of the fat. It has some Aleppo spice inside of it, ras el hanout, pine nuts, roasted red bell peppers, and eggplant. So this flatbread's gonna go right in the oven.
Next to a dish, voila.
What's the temperature of that oven, chef?
650. The ratatouille is just baked, and so what you want is the eggs to be warm, of course, to be cooked, the white to be cooked, and the yolk like that. So those croutons has been, of course, with a little bit of garlic and olive oil and rosemary, and has been toasted. So we put that around just to grab a little bit more texture to that. Then chive as well and rosemary around. A little bit more Espelette pepper there. And of course finish with a very good olive oil like that. Voila. This is the ratatouille.
So when it comes out, it needs to be served really nice and hot, and it's extra aromatic when it comes to the table. We put a little bit of Lebanese spice. Lebanese has a little bit of Aleppo pepper inside of it.
And what is this called on the menu?
This is called Arabic spiced lamb flatbread.
A little bit of pepperoncini, pickled hot, a little bit of heat,
More Aleppo pepper,
Aleppo pepper,
and
salt.
a little fleur de sel, and of course finish with some good olive oil as well.
Yeah, this is the part of the world where olive oil rules, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
We like to serve it whole like this, so serve it with a knife so people can cut it at the table.
Beautiful.
That's our own interpretation of pizza at Boulud.
How many restaurants in Manhattan do you have now?
6, but then also the Épicerie Boulud.
Which I didn't know about till today.
You stop in the morning, this morning, for a little croissant.
Yeah.
And then also we have a catering company since 20 years, Feast and Fête, where it's private catering, but it's not the big production as much as more the tailored boutique catering.
With his downtown commissary pumping out world-class breads, pastries, and pâtés for all of his restaurants, here at Épicerie Boulud, they offer the New Yorker who is on the go, or with a slightly tighter budget, a chance to grab a great, made in-house artisan hot dog, perhaps some lovely pâté, breads, sandwiches, soups, salads, cheeses, baked goods, chocolates, or simply to shop among an assortment of Boulud curated ingredients, all of exceptional pedigree, and most from France. The space at Bar Boulud is challenging, to say the least. It's long and narrow, almost tunnel-like, but with a high vaulted ceiling and the large wooden chef's table anchoring the back of the room, the charcuterie bar framing the center, it works really as a sort of street-level wine-tasting cave. And the focus here indeed is on excellent house-made charcuterie, large bottle formats nightly, featuring great Burgundies and wines from the northern Rhone, and the rich, soulful cuisine of Lyon, the breadbasket of France, clearly a place close to the chef's heart. This is almost an homage to Lyonnaise cuisine.
Exactly. I always wanted to do a more true Lyonnais kind of bistro. And for me, a wine bar slash charcuterie bar and sort of a Lyon bistro was more what I wanted to do. And that's how Bar Boulud came about.
So where's your truffle puree? Right here? Scallions that are quickly braised. Then we have leeks fondue. Leeks that are quickly cooked. So right here we have jumbo skate wing.
Oh yeah.
All right, sauteed. Classic Beurre Rouge. The red wine butter emulsion. We have port wine and Cabernet. Finish with our potato twill. And that completes the dish. Yep.
So we start with butter.
This
of
is
course.
Lyon,
We put
Boudin Noir,
boudin noir,
with blood sausage.
boudin blanc.
Apples go in. Little cream.
A little bit of cream. Need to be kind of loosey on texture. So,
Oh, that's the celery acture.
he's going with boudin noir, and the truffle mashed potato is with the boudin blanc. Glazed apple between all of them. So on top of the boudin blanc, we have confit onions, caramelized onion, on the boudin noir. Is served with apple,
Beautiful looking plate of food.
celery leaves,
Yeah, they taste great, don't they?
little bit of frisée salad on the boudin, and we finish by the sauce.
With the pork sauce. House made. Look at this. It's just really creamy. When you have this done right, it looks exactly like this. So good.
Boulud was about the charcuterie, homage to the charcuterie, which is, I think, one of the most beautiful crafts in France. And I wanted to make charcuterie which was the best in the world. And for that, I partnered with Gilles Véraud in Paris. Fantastic charcutier.
Chef, thanks again. We're bringing you upstairs. Yeah,
Upstairs.
we're getting to know the whole corner here. So we talked about this great program you have of charcuterie, this wonderful art of almost sometimes turning bits of nothing into something wonderful. I mean, to me, that's the art, is sort of turning something very simple into something incredibly good. People might have thrown it away. No, it's this. So well, let's start with that. Start with the head cheese. How do you make this?
So it's a classic head cheese. We brine the heads first, and after we poached it for 12 hours. So slowly baked.
It's full of gelatin. Pig's heads are
Exactly.
full of it naturally gets this gelatinous quality.
Exactly.
Then you pull the meat off.
Dice
Add the garniture.
dice the meat, so the jar, the tongue, season, a lot of black pepper, and that's it.
It's a
like that.
classic.
Classic.
These ones I love. This is a pâté en croûte, and this
That's
is
more like a refined.
this is for rich people.
We're gonna say that. So first, it's a dough like a brisé dough,
Right.
and it's built with like layers of meat. So you have like a ground meat.
You lay down the ground
The
meat, then you're laying in
squab.
the squab.
After you have foie
Foie
gras.
gras.
You have usually a fruit, always on association. This one is with cranberries. So squab, cranberries, foie gras, white duck, and it's built like that, cook in a mold. Just we call that a cheminée.
Right. So you pour an aspic when it's done.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah. Well, so it comes out of the oven. We know there's going to be a little space in here.
Yeah.
So we have this wonderful aspic made from the bones of everything that's in here, full of gelatin. Pour that in the hole.
Exactly.
Let it find its way around, and that's what binds the whole thing. It's under refrigeration. I mean, look at that. It's such beautiful color on the outside, and I mean, that's just screaming to be eaten.
I like to call it French soul food. And there's nothing easier to pair with wine than that type of food. You know, charcuterie has a lot of fat, and it's salty, and it's rich, and you could pair so many different wines with that. I'm opening this up on Friday, and it's a 89 Chateau Becheville Saint Julien, Bordeaux. 89 was such a great year.
So you can open this on Friday,
Oh.
buy the glass.
Buy the glass, and I'll sell it at cost.
That's what you guys do. It's almost like a lost leader. People know
Kind
they can
of.
come here, sit at the bar, have this phenomenal charcuterie platter and performance, and then drink wines that no one can afford at cost,
At cost. So
That are
this
affordable.
Right. So this will be $25 a glass.
which is nuts.
Which is nuts for really a 24-year-old wine.
Right.
And you know, the reason is I want to democratize wine. I want everyone to be able to have a glass of aged wine out of the best possible format, which is a large format. Because the large formats are mostly in the sphere of the collectors, and they keep it for themselves.
Right.
So this is almost like Robin Hood style, where you're getting something and sharing it with everybody.
All right, that's another good reason to come up here. We're talking about the charcuterie. Now we got the great wines, buy the glass that I can't afford, buy the bottle. Come by the glass, eat the best pâté you'll ever have, and drink some absolutely flat out ridiculous wines.
Yep. I get very mushroomy, woolly, kind of earthiness on the nose.
Hey, part of front of the house staff training at any serious New York restaurant is wine education, or should I say continuing wine education. And what better way than a blind tasting hosted by the team from Brooklyn's Savio Suarez, whose excellent portfolio is deep with organic and bio old world wines. Blind tastings are the schnizzle. They are the ultimate test of your wine knowledge, your palate, and your memory. So heck, you know I'm sitting on this one just for the fun of it.
Order Fireland flatbread, order in, main course orchetti, lutemer.
Tell me about this.
This is our milk-fed baby pig porchetta. On the bottom is a little white polenta that's finished with spring garlic pesto. Also finished with some pickled ramps and a little bit of chiffonade of parsley. Nice and springy.
Food, yeah. Boulud Sud is exactly what the name suggests, an homage to all things Mediterranean, a nod to the cuisines of the south of France. Expect lots of fresh herbs, olives, olive oil, light fish preparations, grilled lamb, vegetables, tomatoes in season, crisp acidic white wines, and rosés to match the food.
House smoked and cured, leper-cured salmon. So it's kind of a play on Turkish cuisine.
Mm-hmm. Nice plate of food, chef.
And this is your nod to the Boulud Sud, the cuisine of southern France.
I love Mediterranean cuisine. I travel a lot in the Mediterranean all my life. I work there, and I can do a Provençal restaurant or Côte d'Azur, but that wouldn't be enough. For me, I love Turkey, I love Greece,
Morocco.
I love Spain, Italy, Morocco, North Africa, Tunisia. And so I wanted to capture this basket of flavor, basket of traditional food. They all have certainly a DNA who is compatible and often recognizable, but so different yet. So that's how Boulud Sud was born.
So this is our Sicilian-style duck duo. Duck's been cooked in the pan, rendered the fat, nice crispy skin. These are crispy raviolis. It has the confit duck leg, braised duck leg inside of it. It has chocolate and orange. Some fennel pollen, clove inside of it. And the sauce is finished with bitter chocolate and marsala.
This was inspired by your grandfather.
Yeah.
How cool. This is this bread that we saw. It's a Moroccan flatbread that you eat all day long, but I remember having it in Morocco specifically, warm with just honey and butter. Called them semen. We saw this at Hot Bread Kitchen last season. Just a real simple bread that gets cut up and served as one of the breads to the customers.
So this is our spring scallop dish, little spring onion soubise, fregola sarda.
It looks like spring, man. Says
Super
spring
simple.
to me.
Yeah, a little pickle red pearl onion.
We keep our grapefruit in the freezer. We empty them as you see.
In keeping with the Provençal theme, pastry chef Gaia Olivieri got a lot of Best Desserts of the Year press when she unveiled her super popular frozen grapefruit givré in 2012. Well, folks, if you haven't tried it yet, it's not too late. It's still on the menu as a bestseller, and today we'll have her demo one, and we'll see what all the fuss is about.
So the grapefruit, we fill it up with, as I said, with the grapefruit sorbet.
Grapefruit sorbet to begin. All right, so far I'm with you.
And just leave a really tiny little room for the filling.
And what's the name of this dessert so we have a name
It's
for
a
it?
grapefruit givré.
Givré.
Yes,
Okay.
givré, it's very classic as a filled and frozen citrus.
Okay.
You find it a lot in the Mediterranean because it's very refreshing and it's very classic.
So walk me through all this,
Okay,
all these
so
components.
here we have grapefruit jam, homemade grapefruit jam. We have some fresh grapefruit segments. Rose lucum. The rose lucum is Turkish delight. Basically, it's like cornstarch, rose water, and sugar. In here we have the halva crumble.
So now we've got crunch, we've got candy, we've
Yes.
got acid, we've got a whole mix with the marmalade or the jam.
Correct.
And these guys?
These are real roses, dried out roses. We break them up to finish the plate for presentation.
All right.
So we're gonna start with 3 little pieces of grapefruit. We take some of the jam and we put it on the top. After that we have the foam. I'm gonna take 3 little pieces of the rose lucum. So the texture is like chewy, it's a little jelly texture.
And then this is crunchy, crumbly,
Yes,
almondy.
correct.
Another bit of foam.
Yes, a little bit more of the foam on the top. This is basically a sugar orange trio. We put it on the top.
As soon as it gets hot, it's just going to go.
Absolutely. We have the halva hare here.
Which is crazy. So this is halva hare.
It's called halva hare, yes.
Yes, I had no idea. It
Yes.
looked like spun sugar or cotton candy, and it tasted like halva.
Yes.
You look at this stuff.
Halva,
On camera.
sesame.
Get a close up of this. Looks like something you'd pull out of a sofa. It's bizarre, man.
And we finish with some black and white sesame on the top, just to remind that we're using sesame inside. Just we crush a little of the rose here.
Oh, that's where the rose goes. I thought
Yeah.
you forgot to put it in.
No, just to
All right,
remind us
all
it's
right.
all about the rose here too, and the halva and the sesame.
And then this comes to the table like this, and you're basically left with no recourse except get a spoon, mash it all together, and just start digging it out. And then it all kind of blends up and tastes like
Correct.
crazy like that. So
Just break inside.
this doesn't come with instructions. You just
No.
sort of go, all right, here. Go faster, you idiot. Yeah, just go inside. Just smash it up. Here. And then actually, this is what I did at the table. Use your fingers. And then you start to dig in here.
It's a Mediterranean food, so you can use your fingers too.
Thank you. I needed an excuse. And then inside, like you said, you've got all of these layers. You've got jam, you've got grapefruit, you've got those gummy things, whatever the heck those things are called, Turkish delights.
Yes.
It's a lot of dessert, actually. For me, this is for 2 people. Plenty.
Fire artichoke, quarter-inch scallop rouget.
Oh yeah, and for all you starry-eyed, recent minted culinary school graduates out there with dreams of Chopped, Top Chef, and the like, here's my kind of New York culinary study. Ready? It's called Start at the Bottom, Shut Up, Put Your Smartphone Away, Show Up Early, Stay Late, Don't Ever Call in Sick, Work Your Butt Off. That's how you're gonna get ahead in this business.
I came to New York like 8 years ago since I was 18, and I started dishwashing in Cafe Boulud
Dishwasher at Cafe Boulud.
Yeah.
And you're from where?
from Mexico. I was dishes, and then the chef told me you do a really good job, and he told me you want to work in the kitchen. I said, why not? I will do that, and I thought it was a better job.
Better pay, you got
Better-
whites on now, you're
Yeah.
working with the boys.
So I worked for like 6 years over there. I do a turnout, and I came up with Chef Aaron Chambers and Travis, and then they made me sous chef.
We're gonna prepare 2 fish who are, I think, symbolic of the Mediterranean. Dorade and rouget, red mullet. We have little fillet of rouget here, and we stuff 3 fillet with a fennel, sweet onion, garlic, and mushroom filling.
What's on the outside again?
Cedar.
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 Yeah.
Cedar
Yep.
leaf. So the rouget is served very simply. After it's grilled like this, we cut the string, put it on the plate beautifully, and we just serve that with a salad of fennels. And with the dorade, we have the romesco sauce. The garnish. A little bit of Marcona almonds as well,
And olive oil.
of course.
It's that time of day, huh? Salud.
Cheers. Merci. So we have a Greek wine from the Peloponnese. Beautiful, crisp,
Oh.
fresh.
Perfect for this fish that I believe, this is Greek too, isn't it? This was flown in?
Very much. Greek dorade. And I'm having a wonderful bite of the rouget. I haven't had the rouget for a little while.
This is great. Light, clean.
Have a little taste of my rouget.
Thank you. I remember this from a week ago.
So here, we're in the Mediterranean, but we're in France, we're in Spain, we're in Morocco, Tunisia,
The wines
Turkey,
from Greece.
the wine from Greece. I think we're floating. And what we try is not to create gimmick with the food. We just try to take very traditional recipe and try to really refine them, personalize them, but keep the foundation of the recipe, of the soul of a recipe. I think is the most important thing.
Continued success, chef.
Merci.
I mean,
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining us on the corner of 64 and Broadway.